How close are we to the end? A significant portion of the book of Revelation is fulfilled, but the ones concerning the New World Order, the mark of the beast, and Sunday law is still future and are about to happen. Within evangelicalism, during the last 150 years, futurism method of interpretation has grown to dominate, but this is grave error. Bible prophecy must be interpreted by a historical method of prophetic study because prophecy is history fulfilled. And Satan knows that if he can destroy the method, he can destroy the message. God's final message can only be conveyed through historicism method of interpretation. Is an explanation of the prophecies of Daniel and Revelation from a historicist perspective, following the historical method of prophetic interpretation and putting Jesus in the center of prophecy. Dear friends, here is the 8 chronological landmarks of last day events. Number 1, the Antichrist wounded. Revelation 13 verse 3. Stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded. This deadly wound was given by France when Pope Pius VI was taken prisoner by Napoleon's army in February 19, 1798. Upon his refusal to renounce his temporal power, Pius was taken prisoner and transported to France. He died 18 months later in violence. The little horn Antichrist ruled from 538 AD to 1798. He trampled the truths of the sanctuary, just as the angel explains to Daniel 1798 is the time of the end. Reading on in Daniel 8 verse 9. And out of one of them came a little horn, that's the Antichrist, which grew exceedingly great towards the south, toward the east, and toward the glory, his land. But he said to me, Son of man, that the vision refers to the time of the end. In Daniel 7, the little horn slays the saints of God for a period of 1260 years. And in Daniel 11 verse 31 to 39, we find a description of the same period. Only now, the little horn is called the King of the North. Reading one in the Bible, but at that time of the end, 1798, the King of the South, atheistic communism in the French Revolution, arises against the King of the North, the papacy, and gives it the deadly wound. But then we are told that the King of the North regains its power and once again goes out to slaying the saints of God in Daniel 11:40 to 45. Event number 2, judgment begins. Daniel 8 verse 13. Then I heard a holy one speaking to another. The holy one said to that certain one who was speaking, How long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices in the transgression of desolation unto 2,300 days? Then the sanctuary be cleansed. According to the Hebrew sanctuary, Daniel 8:14, combining it with Leviticus 23:27, the 10th day of the 7th month is the Day of Atonement. It falls on October 22, 1844. God will restore the truths in the sanctuary concerning the 10 commandments, baptism, righteousness by faith, and many more truths that has been cast down by the little horn Antichrist in Daniel 7 verse 10. God the Son meets the Ancient of Days, God the Father. The courts are seated and the books are open because judgment begins in the course of heaven. Jesus made a move from the holy place to the most holy place, just like how the high priest in the earthly sanctuary performs in the earthly sanctuary. Revelation, in order to know which reward to give, an investigation must be performed based on what is written in the books. Question: what are these books that are open? Our good deeds are written in the book of remembrance. Malakay 3:16. God has another Jericho Valdez in heaven in written form. From this record of each person's character, self-identity, or individuality is carefully preserved in the heavenly books. Event number 3, Revelation 13:11. United States, transitionary period. Revelation 13 verse 11 says, "Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. This beast has 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon." The dragon-like speaking is a reference to the deceptive and seductive talk of the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Genesis 3:15, "As the prophets are the mouthpieces of God, so this end-time power is the mouthpiece of Satan." False prophets in the Bible claim to be God's representative with the message from God, yet they lead away. They lead people away from God. There is only one power that appeared in history in the post-medieval period that fits the description of the Lamb like beast of Revelation 13, that is the Protestant of the United States. Horns represent kings and kingdoms or governments. Daniel 7:24 and Daniel 8:21. They represent America's 2 governing principles, civil and religious liberty. These land-like power, with the description of Christ the Lamb, will exercise all the power of the first beast, the papal beast. United States right now, in the transitionary period. That's why you have Christian nationalism. America is trying to use religion to control the government. We now have a U.S. president who is a strong supporter of Pope Leo. Event number 4, Sunday law enforced. Revelation 13:12. "And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." John says that the land beast will do all the bidding of the first beast, the papacy, and will cause it, meaning force, the whole world to worship and receive his mark. When the issue on climate change that is now happening, it is a world issue, you will notice that Pope Leo will be heavily involved in suggesting solutions to the crisis. And the main point is to enforce a day called Green Sunday. It is a movement, Climate Sunday, for the sake of saving the environment. Event number 5, the mark of the beast received. That no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. Those who succumb to the pressure applied by this institution will receive a mark with the beast's name on the right hand or their forehead. To receive the mark of the beast means to belong to the beast and worship it. The mark of the beast thus is an antithesis of God's seal. Event number 6, Satan counterfeits Christ's return. Revelation 13 verse 13. "And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles." Atheism is seeing, is believing. How can you make an atheist unite with the Antichrist? a massive miracle. The crowning act in the great drama of deception at the end of time, when Satan will impersonate Christ in an attempted counterfeit of the second coming in different parts of the earth. Satan will manifest himself as a majestic being of dazzling brightness, resembling the description of the Son of God given by John in the Revelation. He heals the diseases of the people, and then in his assumed character of Christ, he claims to have changed the Sabbath to Sunday and commands all to hallow the day which he has blessed. This is the strong, almost overmastering delusion of Satan. Satan would deceive the very elect, Matthew 24 verse 24. And Christians will only be able to detect the counterfeit only by the objective Word of God. If they rely upon subjective human senses, they will be lost. Event number 7, great time of trouble. In this event, Michael will stand up. Michael is Jesus' military name, and his intercession ceases in the most holy place. Daniel 12 verse 1. At that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince who stand watch over the sons of your people, and there shall be a time of trouble. This is the great time of trouble for the wicked, for God will pour his wrath on those who has the mark of the beast. Revelation 14 verse 9. If anyone worships the beast and his image, and receive his mark on his forehead or on his hands, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God. Revelation 15 verse 8 reflects this idea, telling us that before the 7 plagues are poured on rebellious humanity, Christ's mediatory ministry in heaven will be concluded. The door of opportunity will ultimately close, and the destiny of every person will be decided. Event number 8, the second coming of Jesus. Where are we in the timeline of last day events? We are between Revelation 13 verse 11 and 12. I believe that God is testing this final generation, a generation that I believe will witness the second coming of Christ. And our greatest motivation is to be born again, is to be with Jesus for eternity. Fear God, give glory to Him, worship Him, is the whole duty of man. Is this your desire, dear friends? To spend eternity with Christ, and in a little while we're going home.